Hey, we've come back to read Gangsta Granny by David Walliams, illustrated by Tony Ross. So, in the last chapters that we'd read, that Granny and Ben had just got back from the Tower of London, and Mr. Parker, the nosy neighbour, had organised the police to come and arrest Granny and Ben for stealing the crown jewels. Now, Mr. Parker had promptly been put in his place, but let's find out what happens next. Chapter 31, The Golden Light. The sun had risen, and grey clothes was bathed in golden light. There was dew on the ground, and an unearthly mist made the little row of bungalows look somehow magical. "Ah, well," said Granny with a smile, "you'd better run home now, young Ben, before your parents wake up." "Oh, they don't care about me," said Ben. "Oh, yes, they do," said Granny, tentatively, putting her arm around her grandson. "They just don't know how to show it." "Maybe." Ben yawned the biggest yawn he'd ever yawned in his life. "Gosh, I'm so tired, but tonight was so amazing." "It was the most thrilling night of my life, Ben. I wouldn't have missed it for the world," said Granny with a twinkling smile. She took a deep breath. Oh, the joy of being alive. Then her eyes filled with tears. "Are you all right, Granny?" said Ben softly. Granny hid her face from her grandson. "I'm fine, child. Really, I am." Her voice wavered with emotion as she spoke, and suddenly Ben knew that something was very wrong. "Granny, please, can you tell me?" He held her hand in his. Her skin was soft, but worn and fragile. "Well," said Granny hesitantly, "there is also one other thing that I lied to you about." Ben had a sinking feeling. "What's that?" he asked, and squeezed her hand reassuringly. "Well, the doctor gave me my test results last week, and I told you I was fine." "But it was a lie. I am not fine." Granny paused for a moment. "The truth is, I have cancer." "Oh, no," said Ben, with tears in his eyes. He had heard about cancer, enough to know it could be deadly serious. "Just before you ran into him at the hospital, the doctor told me the cancer, well, is very advanced." "How long have you got left?" spluttered Ben. "Did he say?" "He said I wouldn't make it to Christmas." Ben hugged his granny as tight as he could, willing his body to share its life force with her. Tears were running down his cheeks. It was so unfair. He'd only just got to know his granny in the last few weeks. How was he going to lose her? "I don't want you to die." Granny looked at Ben for a moment. "None of us are going to live forever, my boy, but I hope you never forget me, you boring old granny." "You're not boring at all. You're a proper gangster. We very nearly stole the crown jewels, remember?" Granny chuckled. "Yes, but not a word of that to anyone, please. You could still get in a heap of trouble. It will have to remain our little secret." "And the Queen's," said Ben. "Oh, yes, what a nice old dear she was." "I'll never forget you, Granny," said Ben. "You will forever be in my heart." "That is the nicest thing that anyone has ever said to me," said the old lady. "I love you so much, Granny." "I love you too, Ben. But you better be running along now. I don't want to leave you." "That's very sweet of you, dear. But if your mummy and daddy wake up and find you gone, they're going to be extremely worried about you." "Oh, they won't. Oh, yes, they will. Now, Ben, please be a good boy." Ben reluctantly rose to his feet, and he helped his granny off the step. He held her close and kissed her on the cheek. He didn't mind the hairy chin. In fact, he loved it. He loved the whistle of her hearing aid. He loved that she smelled of cabbage, and most of all, he loved that she blew off without even knowing about it. He loved everything about her. "Goodbye," he said softly. "Goodbye, Ben." When he finally arrived home, Ben noticed that the little brown car was missing from the drive. It was still very early in the morning. Where could have his parents gone at this hour? Nevertheless, he climbed up the drainpipe, through the window, and back into his bedroom. All that clamouring was hard work, and he was tired after staying up all night, and the wetsuit made him feel heavier than usual. Ben removed his plumbing weeklies aside so he could hide the wetsuit under his bed. Then, as quietly as he could, he put on his pajamas and climbed into bed. Just as he was about to shut his eyes, he heard the car speed up the drive and the front door open, and the sound of his mum and dad sobbing uncontrollably. "We've looked everywhere for him," said Dad, sniffling. "I just don't know what to do." "It was my own stupid fault," added Mum through her tears. "We should have never entered him in that dance competition. He must have run away from home." "I'll call the police." "Yes, we must. We shouldn't have done that. We should have done that hours ago. We have to get the whole country out looking for him. Hello? Hello? I need the police, please. It's my son. I can't find my son." Ben felt so wretchedly guilty. His parents did care about him, after all, massively. He leapt out of bed, burst open his bedroom door, and ran down the stairs into their arms, and Dad dropped the telephone. "Oh, my boy," said Dad. He hugged Ben tighter than he'd ever hugged before. Mum put her arms around her son too, and they were one big family sandwich, with Ben as the filling. "Oh, Ben, thank goodness you've come back," wailed Mum. "Where have you been?" "With Granny," replied Ben, not quite telling the whole truth. "Well, she's very ill," he said sadly. But he could see from his parents' faces that this was not a surprise to them. "Yes," said his dad uncomfortably. "I'm afraid that she's—" "I know," said Ben. "I just can't believe you didn't tell me. She's my granny." "I know," said Dad, "and she's my mum too." "I'm sorry I didn't tell you, son. I didn't want to upset you." Suddenly, Ben could see the pain in his dad's eyes. "That's okay, Dad," he said. "Me and your mum have been up all night looking everywhere for you," added Dad, as he squeezed his son even tighter. "We'd never have thought to look for you at your granny's. You always said she was boring." "Well, she's not. She's the best granny in the world." Dad smiled. "That's sweet, son, but you still should have told us where you were. Look, I'm sorry. After I let you down so badly at the dance competition, I didn't think you cared about me." "Care about you?" said Dad, a shocked expression on his face. "We love you. We love you so much, Ben," added Mum. "You must never think differently. Who cares about a silly dance competition hosted by TV's Flavio Flavioli? I am so proud of you, whatever you do." "We both are," said Dad. They were all crying and smiling now, and it was hard to know if the tears were happy or sad ones. It really didn't matter. They were probably a mixture of both. "Shall we go to Granny's for a cup of tea?" said Mum. "Yes," said Ben. "That would be nice." "And me and your dad have been talking," said Mum, taking her son's hand in hers. "I found the plumbing magazines." "But," said Ben. "It's all right," continued Mum. "You don't have to be embarrassed. If that's your dream, go for it." "Really?" said Ben. "Yes," chimed in Dad. "We just want you to be happy." "Oh, Lee," continued Mum, me and your dad think if plumbing doesn't work out as a career, it's very important for you to have something else to fall back on." "Fall back on?" asked Ben. He really didn't understand his parents at the best of times, let alone now. "Yes," said Dad, "and we know ballroom dancing isn't your thing." "No," agreed Ben, relieved. "So how about ice dancing?" asked Mum. Ben stared at her, and for a long moment Mum just looked straight back at him. And then her face finally cracked, and she burst out laughing. And then Dad was laughing too, and there were still tears on his face, and Ben couldn't help but join in. And that's the end of today's reading of Gangsta Granny by David Walliams. One day to go. And I look forward to reading it to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.